My name is Darcy Green and I am studying directing at NIDA. Well, I was really interested in bringing a true story to life, and being an Australian, I'm very interested in Australian stories. So I was just going through my research and trying to find interesting events that had happened, maybe things that were ongoing. I guess coming off the back of, I listen to a lot of podcasts, so like that sort of like true crime, investigative type of work really intrigued me. And then, yeah, I just stumbled on this story of this pilot. I guess it's almost like the Bermuda Triangle of Australia. There's sort of rough oceans, and Tasmania is sort of like this land which is sort of so isolated from Australia, and I guess it occurred in a time where obviously internet wasn't around, and the ideas of people going missing were almost frequent and sort of brought up into media and popular sort of conversation. So it's sort of this weird time and place thing where it all sort of is a bit unsettling. I found the story of Frederick Valentich, and it really stood out to me as a story that interested me, and I was surprised that it hadn't been worked into a piece of theatre or performance before. And I was really interested in the themes that the story explored of isolation, loneliness, and mystery. So Elliot Vella and Jackson Newsett, the two writers that I've been working with from the MFA writing course. Writing and collaborating with three people was definitely an experience, but it was really valuable for me. Having people around you that are also interested in the story really sort of motivates you to keep going. So I found that I was always working on it, so I was on top of it from a very early stage, which was practically very useful. But I guess we all did bring something very different, because we all have very different sort of writing styles, and I'm coming in as the director, so I'm thinking of the end product, and the writers obviously bring their own talents and skills. It was just trying to find that happy balance between how do we actually tell this story, what is the most important thing that an audience needs to get out of this. And we wrote many drafts, and we did a lot of research and back and forth. But yeah, we ended up with something that I'm really proud of and happy to share. It's interesting going through my research and looking into Valentich's story. I think the Australian landscape naturally lends itself to these supernatural occurrences. I think it is a land of mystery, and there's a lot of the Australian bush and our coastlines. They are treacherous elements. So this idea that that aliens can be somehow involved seems fitting. Yeah, I've been toying up with what actually did happen to him, because there are a lot of inconsistencies around himself as a pilot, but also around the story. A lot of things that aren't explained, and I don't think what the play that we're doing, that we're showing, is really trying to prove what happened. It's more trying to capture the idea of how people can be so caught up and and thrilled by these ideas of abductions and aliens. So the story that we're actually telling isn't Valentich. he's kind of our he's a piece of evidence, if you will, that we use to explore humanity's innate search for answers or search for the unknown. So we're using that as a structure rather than trying to solve this problem or this event.